Hello, everyone, and welcome to Asian Viewpoints with Mary Sitt. Well, if you're looking for an Instagram-worthy dress for those upcoming holiday parties, look no further than Danny Nguyen Couture. Danny Nguyen, fashion designer here in Houston, designs collections twice a year. He also does custom wedding dresses, and he even makes house calls for alterations. Danny, thanks so much for being with us.
Hey, Mary. How you
So,
been?
doing great, thank you. Well, I just recently went to your fashion show and your grand opening. A new shop. Tell me about that. It's a huge milestone in your business to move like
Uh,
that.
I was in the shopping plaza for the past 15 years, and I decided that I think it's time for me to grow to my own individual. So that's why we decided to move and have our own individual standing, just like a real couture house in
Uh-huh.
Paris. So the new location inspiration, it is from very Parisian style, very homey feeling and not so upfront and tight like a department store where you feel threatened. I want to make them feel more feel to feel like they are home and just a very French college style.
You design a collection for two seasons every
Yes.
year, spring, summer, and fall, winter.
Mm.
How do you draw on inspiration to do that kind of collection? Because that's a lot of pressure to do two of them a year to make something innovative and beautiful and bold like that.
Normally, I'll get inspired from right as of right now, mostly by the social media was influencing in social media on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. And I feel like social media is the new norm now, where we live how we see in social media, and that dictate how the trend is going to be and how the fashion is going to be. And I think that's where I get most inspiration from is from the social media and my travel, and especially other cultures is very important. One of my main focus and rule is you have to be embraced in different culture to understand to even to make a collection.
And you do embrace your own culture, your Vietnamese culture in your collections. I saw some of the dresses that looked very much like the traditional Vietnamese
Yeah.
dresses, beautiful, with a little slit up the side and some pants below. This season, you have a fall winter collection called Neo-Feudal, where the past collides with the future. Tell me a little bit about that.
So that collection was based on traditional tailoring, more of a
Mhm.
men aspect. And the reason why we call it feudal, because based on very masculine, very strong, like in feudal Japan, where lords rule over a certain part of region of the country. I feel like I incorporate that into the collection, where the neo part is where we lean to more of nowadays and to the future of how now they still coming toward the minimalistic age in the new generation of fashion, which is mostly catered to Gen Z now,
Mhm.
and their fashion is very minimalistic, very contemporary, very clean cut. And I feel to incorporate the past design with a new design and making it to one cohesive look. So that's where the concept came from.
So you describe your collection as sort of being very some masculine aspects, very structured looks. But from your fashion show that I saw at your grand opening, I saw beautiful, fluid, form-fitting gowns, like ballroom gowns almost. I mean,
Yes.
very feminine. It shows
So
off the female figure. Tell me about that aspect and how you incorporate that also in your gowns.
I always, for my gown, always incorporate a very feminine look, and I feel I want to make the concept of masculine, but then at the same time bend it, where you still see the masculine, but then it'll be very soft and fluid. It's just like how you say in martial art, it's very strong, but at the same time, it's very fluid and very soft. That's what the whole concept of martial art is. Is it defensive to be strong, but to make it defensive, you have to be very fluid and smooth.
Do your runway designs make it to the streets? I mean, people order what they see on the runway, or do you
Yeah.
have the runway and then you have the on the rack stuff, off the
So
rack stuff?
on the runway collection and what people order in the street is they would order what's on the runway, but they will modify to their
Okay.
tasting. Everything
Mhm.
is since we are a couture house, we everything is modified to the clients from to the size to the height. To maybe they want the skirt a little short, a little long, make the ball gown a little narrower. It depends on what they want.
Let's talk about your bridal designs. How important are details on a bridal gown?
Bridal gown detail is very, very important because it's like what this like Yoji Yamamoto said, dress is like a desert, it's endless. But
Mhm.
the bridal gown is endless design, but at the same time, you are down a narrow path of a certain particular look. So even
Mhm.
though you expand the horizon of the design, you still have to follow aspect of the cut. Like you always gonna have the button down zipper always.
Mhm.
You're always gonna have some tool underneath it, the dress to make it flare out. Always gonna have that. You're always gonna have some sheer top. Is very basic, fundamental you have to follow before it can span out.
Because there are so many traditional elements in a bridal gown, people expect a certain look.
There's a lot of traditional element that you have to apply to the modern look. That's why is the style is unlimited, but the construction is still the same. It's the same pathway as it always been and never changed. With couture or custom clothing, you can do whatever you want.
What are your price points? Can anyone afford couture, or is it really only for, people who are pretty wealthy?
So for us is we like to be budget friendly, so we will work out a budget depending on what you want to do and your budget price. And at the same time, we're not like other bridal store where you're like, oh, you're interested in a dress, yeah, pay half deposit or pay the whole thing now, and then you get it just in 6 months. That is kind of, for me, is very scary for a person to do that. So for us, we will break the payment into 3 to 5 payments for our clients throughout the span of the fitting until the day that they need their outfit. So it really helped with the client's finance, and it really make feel more ease and not much about them spending a lot.
Danny, how did you get your start in fashion design?
Family business. It was, my mom was a seamstress back in Vietnam. She came over here, and we came all together in 1990 to America, and she decided to open her little alteration shop, which is named after her, which is Hawaiian Tailor. And she had it for 25 years before I started my business. And she started with not a dollar in her pocket and doesn't speak any English, but she believed in the American dream.
Person detected at DNC door.
And that's just go from there. She believed in the American dream, and then she's made it happen.
And you were a little kid hanging around, and you learned how to sew and mend right next to your mom. Is that right?
I came over when I was 6, so I started ironing and taking apart fabric when I was around 7, and then later on when I got to middle school, I started hemming pants, hemming dresses. It's like a little sweatshop, you know?
Yeah, a little sweatshop.
High school, once I got in high school, I learned how to do alteration and all the clothes for the customer. And then once I got into college, I started helping her out every day after school with her sewing and alteration and custom work. And then I decided I don't know what to do in my life. I either want to be what I really want to be was a sculptor, but then I already knew I won't make money from being a sculptor. So I was at her shop working one day, and I realized my path's already been set for me. So I went and learned fashion design at ACC, and
ACC is Houston Community College, right? Yeah, that's great.
And then applying my sewing skill with sculpture skill together as one.
What's the joy in fashion design? What is the fun part for you? Is it sketching out the ideas or actually creating it and executing it?
The fun part of fashion design is us to see the final product. You know, sewing the runway, the we call it the photo, the video of the product on social media, on TV, on the news. It's the final end product that gives us joy that our artwork is being shown. It's not just a piece of clothing, it's a piece of artwork that's being shown all over the place.
And, the fashion world is very cutthroat. How do you survive, and how do you stand out in a good way?
I've been in it for 15 years now, and for me, I believe that the only way to survive in this cutthroat fashion world is just consistent. Like, some season my collection did not do so great, but I still have to do the collection and then move on to the next collection. You just have to keep doing the moment that you stop doing collection, people start doubting, oh, is he going out of business? Is he not in the fashion no more? So you have to keep going, and it's a lot of stress, mentally, financially, but you have to figure out what to make it happen, because if not, then it's not meant for you.
So if people want to see more of your designs, we can go on your website and look at some of your beautiful collections. Is that right?
Yes. If people want to see more of my design, up-to-date event design, party or fashion weeks or event related that they want to go to, they can go subscribe to us on my website, at dncouture.com.
Very good. Danny, thank you so much for being with us.
Okay. Thank you.
If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button below and be sure to subscribe. I'll see you again in the next video. Thanks for watching.